Newcastle's unbeaten start to the season came to a shuddering end at Derby last Monday. I get the impression Tyneside is expecting an improvement, but West Ham arrive here with the best away record in the Premier League so far this season. Michael Owen lasted less than an hour at Derby, but fears about his well-being have proved unfounded, and it's Owen up front with the returning Viduka. The other change sees Habib Bey come in for his first start for Newcastle in place of Stephen Taylor at right back. Only one of the 5 former Newcastle players in the West Ham squad is in the team, and that's Lee Bowyer, who's already got a couple of goals from midfield this season. Craig Bellamy hasn't recovered after limping off against Middlesbrough last weekend, so Carlton Cole starts for the first time since February, and Anton Ferdinand returns to central defence for James Collins. Newcastle Academy trainee Jordan Thompson died last Saturday after a long battle against leukemia. He was only 15 years old. His family and his teammates are all here today. Well, there's only been 1 goal in the previous 2 Premier League games at St James's Park this season, as Newcastle could be stretched here. Cole. Now Bowyer. Dean Ashton. This is the sort of start that West Ham will have wanted. Cole. Carlton Cole. That was a chance. Peter Beardsley doesn't miss too many Newcastle home games. There were real concerns about his fitness when he had to go off on Monday night, but he had a scan. It proved not too serious to the extent that he's able to play here today. Jeremy. Now Nzogbia. Milner. Nzogbia. What's that? Viduka is there, and Newcastle take the lead with 2 minutes on the clock. They survived the scare at the other end, but first chance for Newcastle, and the head of Viduka has done the trick. The cross from Nzogbia, and Viduka in ahead of Ferdinand, and that's a real striker's header. And after defeat at Derby, that's been very welcome for Sam Allardyce. Noble. Noble again. This is dangerous. Mark Noble. Good save. The closest West Ham have come to an equaliser. And a very good save by Harper, who's keeping Shea Given out of the team at the moment, of course. Neil. It's been allowed to bounce. Missed by Kasapa. Just as well that Steve Harper was alive to the danger. Just bounced awkwardly, came off Kasapa, and the block by Harper from Cole. Noble's corner. Upson. And that was a chance. Quarter of an hour to go to half-time. Not too much in the way of chances. West Ham have just about shaded it in those terms. Cole. Again, Razanal has just got rid of it when it's come anywhere near him. Again, Neil with the throw. Ashton. Cole. Ashton! There's the equaliser. And it's Dean Ashton. 2 goals in 2 games. And the 2 big men caused the problems for the Newcastle defence. Couldn't deal with it. Cole and Ashton together. And Dean Ashton makes it 1-1. First goal Newcastle have conceded at St James's Park in the Premier League this season. And it's Dean Ashton. And Zogbia. Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy. That was almost straight into the path of Ashton. But Rosenhal's ball is found in Zogbia. And it's 2-1 Newcastle. And it's Viduka. Well, that could almost have gone so wrong for Newcastle. But in the end, it went so right. That clearance from Rosenhal. And Zogbia, then Viduka. Let's see what contact Viduka got on this. It's sort of a two-legged shin into the net. But it counts. And it's 2 goals for Viduka, 2 for Newcastle. Right at the end of the first half, Newcastle back in front. Second goal has given Newcastle a real lift. Smith to Owen. Viduka. Viduka! Green seemed to get a touch on that. Viduka certainly thinks so, but referee Riley has pointed straight for a goal kick. He did get a touch. But for Owen, drifts away from Ferdinand. And away from McCartney, who might have just balked him there. Free kick given. I've just seen Michael Owen just feeling his groin there, by the way. And I don't think Owen's going to play too much further part in this game, you know. You see twists there, you can see the grimace on his face. So Michael Owen, after completing 55 minutes at Derby on Monday night, has made it 51 minutes in this game. Viduka seemed to be fouled, but he's ridden the challenge. Still going, Viduka, and then but safely dealt with by Green. There's the owner. It looks as though it's going to be a regular fixture, Mike Ashley turning up in the replica shirt. See if that continues during the course of the winter, shall we? Blocked by Alan Smith. I think Smith's saying there wasn't a great deal I could do about that. Couldn't get out of the way. Noble. Ashton with a flick. Little glance from the extremely blonde head of Ashton. That's almost as close as West Ham have come in the second half to an equaliser. Neil, and now Ljungberg leaves it for Ashton. Swing away by Rosenhal. Camera's header. Rosenhal away. Boya! Good save, Harper again. Harper stood between Lee Boyer and a West Ham equaliser there. Boyer threaded it between the 2 Newcastle players, so Harper must have been unsighted by that as well. And Zogbia. Martin's available. He's used Smith. And Zogbia. Now Martins. Forced himself wide. And Zogbia! 3-1 Newcastle. And Charles Zogbia, who created the first 2 goals for Viduka, scores the 3rd himself. Martins took it on there. It seemed as though he'd gone too wide, but he threaded it across. And then Zogbia, left back for most of this match, remember. Now in midfield, got himself into the 6-yard box. And in there, he's really hurt West Ham. And that might well be enough for Newcastle to win this match. And that's reflected in those celebrations. Newcastle in this situation leading by a couple of goals, more than happy just to wind the clock down. Was a setback, of course, to West Ham not to be able to call on Bellamy. Oh, that's lost carelessly by West Ham. Martins is through. Oh my goodness. What an opportunity to absolutely seal it. If you can bear it, Obafemi Martins. Let's have another look at this. It's grimace time. So there's one for the collection of worst misses of the season for you.
Today, I think the most important thing for us today was getting the result right, and at times again we were a little bit scrappy, but we've played well enough, I think, to win the game in the end. And the second half performance was a big improvement on the first. So you know, generally very, very pleased today.
I think Sam has probably looked at it and gone, yeah, great, we've won 3-1, but you know, I think that's a bit harsh on us. But if you defend the way we did, and we nearly contrived to give them a fourth, it's very difficult. You can't play that. You know, you can't set your stall out like the way we did today.
Obviously, you want to come here and consolidate for at least the first 10 minutes, and to go behind after that short period. You know, it's then an uphill task to get back into the game, which we did really well, but again shot ourselves in the foot.
The second goal was in probably in everybody's eyes was an easy chance, but the way it came to me was sort of, it was half in between. I didn't know what to do, and in the end I just sort of fell down, and it hit both legs and went in.
A bit of striker's instinct was there.
Yeah, a little bit of luck, I think that was.